ever in a group of friends and you got that one person that sometimes that, you might call them negative Nelly, like they come in and they just change the dynamics of the room, the energy just changes. Well, that's what I'm talking about. You don't want to be that individual, because no one really wants to work for that individual. No one really even likes communicating with that individual. So don't be that individual. But see, I understand what I see is top performers and top producers. They understand and they're very aware of how they come off. Whereas low producers and people who are just mediocre or average, they don't care, because they expect that everyone should just put up with them. They expect that they're just gonna get their time to shine. Whereas top performers, we earn it. You know what I mean? Like we wake up grateful and understand that if I want something to happen, I'm gonna go make it happen. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel. I'm your host. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the 3 things that top performers do that simply low performers just don't do. They don't do it. It will blow your mind, but you're going to want to stick around, watch the entire video, because I got a bonus for you at the end. But more importantly, you're going to want to remember what these 3 things are, because if you're not doing these 3 things, that could be the one thing that helps unlock your potential and pushes you over to the side of the top producers and the top performers within your industry, let alone your own organization. And so these 3 things, again, I've noticed that low producers, low performers, even average producers simply do not do it, whether it's in their DNA or they simply choose not to. I believe they choose not to, because right now we literally have the choice and the resources and just ultimate opportunity right now to make the decision to do the things that we need to do in order to do the things that we want to do. You get it? So stick around. Before I begin, let me remind you, my name is Daniel. Again, this channel is called At Sales Remastered. It's designed for sales individuals. If you happen to be within real estate and you happen to have an NMLS license as a loan officer, you're going to hear a lot of verbiage that you could relate to. And a lot of the lessons and techniques that I share with you on these channels, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a loan officer to apply them. You could literally apply these techniques and these habits to just your daily life, right? You don't even need to be in sales, but I have a passion for sales. I'm a sales enthusiast, and sales has allowed me to unlock the things that I wish I had growing up from my own family. It has allowed me to live the lifestyle that I live today. And my goal, my hope is to share with individuals who are either looking for a side hustle, who are looking to increase their income, or just get through the day-to-day grind and turn this thing into a game. I'm going to teach you how to remaster the way you look at your sales. Now, back to the show. So the top 3 things that top performers, top producers do that low producers don't do, we're going to cover right now. Starting off with number 1. Number 1 is rituals. That's right. So top producers have these habits. I think both have habits, right? Everyone has habits. Everyone has common habits and routines that we all follow every single day. If you really pay attention to it, you have a routine that's already embedded within your daily schedule. You just don't realize it. It's probably automated, right? And so you're doing it subconsciously. From the way you wake up to what you do first to what you do next, how you get ready for the day, what set of clothes you put on first, how you pick your clothes. There's these particular habits and routines. But what top producers have is they include discipline within their routine. So what I'm talking about is top producers will practice things like morning rituals. Morning rituals are things where they wake up early. Right? They wake up earlier than they need to because they need to kind of block out some time for themselves. And during these morning rituals, they practice everything from meditation to, studying to physical activities, maybe the gym, or they invest within their craft. And so they're investing into basically 3 things, right? So it's basically family, fitness, and finance. So it's all about them. It has nothing to do with work though, and I can't stress that enough. if you're, what I'm talking about by morning rituals, you're not waking up and you're jumping inside your inbox, putting out fires. I'm not even talking about jumping on social media to go and, check out your thread. What I'm talking about is you wake up and you invest in yourself, from hydration to, if you take supplements or vitamins, if you practice yoga, if you stretch, something that's all about you. These morning rituals sets the momentum, which is another thing that top producers understand the value of, is that they need to create that momentum. And that morning ritual is a disciplined habit that not too many people do, and for sure low producers definitely don't do it. So that's number one, right? You have to ingrain particular habits, and so it's these winning habits that enable top producers to separate themselves from the rest. Another thing that is a habit, and a disciplined habit at that, is that they spend time every single day in investing in their education. They self-educate, right? So if you think about it, what I've noticed in doing sales trainings and doing sales mentoring is that top producers, the ones that really are the echelon of the group or the team or the company, they actually participate. They attend sales trainings, they attend sales meetings, and they're in tune with it. But why, right? If you really think about it, like, they're probably not the ones who really even need it. It's really the low producers that need it. But pay attention to how the low producers respond to sales training. Low producers look at sales training like, right? Like it's Saturday school or something like that. And it blows my mind, because those trainings, those lessons are actually meant to help the low producers step up. But it's almost like low producers fight it. Like they'd rather struggle. They'd rather make it a grind, right? It's just like some people are just magnetic towards drama. And so it's very important that if you don't have disciplined habits right now, you need to start incorporating it. And you don't need to start big, right? You don't need to start off by waking up 5 hours before you wake up. Start slowly. Like maybe wake up a half hour before you need to, or wake up an hour before you need to, and take the first 30 minutes to just focus on yourself. Do some light stretching, hydrate, right? Like show signs of gratitude. Get your mindset in the right place so that your day starts the right way and you got the correct momentum. Get it? So that's number one, disciplined habits. They have rituals that they practice every single day, and it's just part of them. Because after a couple of days, it's not you're not trying anymore. It just becomes a routine. It becomes habit. Kind of like the things that you do every morning. Just pay attention to what you do. Now, as far as low producers, the reason why I know that they don't do it is because low producers tend to, kind of, I want to say, mope or sulk or indulge in things that require no activity, no capacity, no brain energy, right? And so whether it's waking up 20 minutes before they got to appear to work, right, doing the bare minimal, and then going home and just not doing anything towards their future or to commit inside their craft, and just taking it day by day, riding the wave, right? Just thinking that, okay, well, I guess, today will be another day, my time will come, or just choosing to look at all the problems as opposed to find the silver lining and find the reasons to be grateful and find the opportunities, right? They're looking at everything as kind of with that negative tint. And so it's very important that you ingrain, these habits within your daily ritual. Now, number two is something that I've identified that really separates the two, and this is something that you really need to understand. It's really assessing how you're coming off to your prospect, how you come off to individuals. And so what I'm noticing is that with top producers, when they engage with anyone, from the receptionist to the sales manager to the prospects to anyone around them, how they engage is they're more about providing value as opposed to demanding something or expecting something in return. And so let me give you an example. So whenever low producers are around, and the habits and characteristics of low producers is expectation, meaning that they expect certain things to happen, right? They expect that they're supposed to be provided X amount of leads. They expect, like, there's an expectation. They don't believe in the idea of having to earn something, right? And so they'll wait as opposed to go get. they'll have their hand out as opposed to hunt. And it trickles down all the way to their sales pitch, to the way they originate sales. Where they expect something is they ask, right? Like that, I'm expecting this lead to buy, so I'm just going to ask them to buy. Whereas a top performer, they don't expect that. They expect to actually give more than they receive. And so it trickles down. So from the way that they communicate to the receptionists, they treat them like an equal, right? They don't treat a receptionist like a subordinate, like they talk down to them. They don't treat the operations, because the top performers and the top producers understand that everything is a sale. All form of communication is a sale. And if you can communicate properly, you can get the person receiving that form of communication do whatever it is you want. And if you really think about it, all we want anytime we ever communicate is we want someone to do something that we need them to do, right? From our spouse to our kids to our employees to our prospects to our manager to operations. Any real time that we communicate something is because we want something back in return, whether it's an answer or compliance or them to do a particular task so that, we can move forward or progress with a particular file, for example. And so you got to really master your form of communication, because, and that's really the second characteristic, is just understand how you communicate. Now, I'm not talking about just vocal. I'm talking about body language, written form, your energy. Like you're very coherent. You're very aware of how you come off, and whether it's being super aware or just being coherent of how people perceive you is very, very important. Because if you are coming off like you ever in a group of friends and you got that one person that sometimes that you might call them negative Nelly, like they come in and they just change the dynamics of the room, the energy just changes. Well, that's what I'm talking about. You don't want to be that individual, because no one really wants to work for that individual. No one really even likes communicating with that individual. So don't be that individual. But see, what I see is top performers and top producers. They understand and they're very aware of how they come off. Whereas low producers and people who are just mediocre or average, they don't care, because they expect that everyone should just put up with them. They expect that they're just gonna get their time to shine. Whereas top performers, we earn it. You know what I mean? Like we wake up grateful and understand that if I want something to happen, I'm gonna go make it happen. And so that is the second characteristic. So again, first is discipline habits, rituals, being organized, right? All the good habits, not the bad habits. Second is communication, understanding how you come off, whether you're whether you're kind of expecting something to happen or you're gonna go make things happen. It starts from the second you open your eyes. That's how your energy comes off, and you can control that momentum. So you need to really understand and adopt that way of living. And then number three, finally, the third thing that top performers do that low producers simply don't do is gratitude. They are grateful for the opportunity. They are grateful for the smallest of things. And I think it has to do with also number one, because these are real popular habits, but you'll pay attention to kind of the attitude of low performers or mediocres. They don't seize the moment, meaning that they don't necessarily see the opportunity. So low performers and mediocre performers could very well be the one that's just negative Nelly, right? And granted, there's some mediocre and some low producers that have great attitudes, right? But what I'm talking about, the part that they're missing is that they're not seizing the moment, meaning that they're not really capturing the opportunity. And that's just maybe a thread of DNA that is different from top producers, where they're going to seize the moment. They're going to use every single minute and every single hour of every single day to push themselves forward. And that is the mindset I think you need to be, especially being in sales. Because if you're just being mediocre and you're being a low producer and you're not necessarily seizing the moment, why are you in sales, boo-boo? Go get that 9 to 5 hourly wage. Go work at Kohl's, man. You won't get beat up as much, right? Like mentally, you won't have so much stress. And since you don't really necessarily want to push yourself to the next level or get that amount of income that you could potentially make, then why are you even in the craft, right? You got to be in this game to play the game. You don't just get into this game because it was cool or it was an option. Like, you get in this game and you go all in. And that's the third characteristic that top performers do is that they go all in. They seize the moment. They are grateful for the opportunity. But where it goes back to number one, the habitual habits, right? The daily discipline routines that top performers do, and I'm gonna throw this in as a bonus, is that they really appreciate everything. And that's one thing that you got to do every single morning, is really think about the things that you're grateful for. Be grateful that you woke up. Be grateful that your kids are healthy. Be grateful that you got a home. Be grateful that you got food. Be grateful that you don't live in a third world country where you got to walk 3 miles to go get a bucket of water, and that there's not feces sitting outside your front door when you open it up, right? There are things that sometimes we just take for granted, and those are things that you'll never find a top producer doing. They don't take certain things for granted, right? And I want you to adopt these principles, because if you can understand that these are 3 things that low producers don't do, and you can start adopting these 3 things, if you're not doing all 3 of them, then you, my friend, can also become a top producer. Now, here's the bonus. If you copy this link of this video, whether you're catching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you're catching this video, if you copy the link and you email me, Daniel@Sales Remastered, I'm gonna have my team hook you up. I got 2 programs. One is called Scripts and Templates, and the other one is called Closing Secrets 101. Combined, this is almost $300 worth of training courses and resources. And today, I'm gonna give it to you for under $100. All you have to do is copy the link of this video, email me, and say, D, hook me up. Again, email it to Daniel@Sales Remastered and put it just in the subject line or in the body of the email, say, D, hook me up. And I'm gonna know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna give you access to the Scripts and Templates module, lifetime access to Closing Secrets 101 for under $100. This program is gonna tell you exactly how I sell, exactly how I originate sales. It's gonna give you all my own personal scripts and templates that I fund millions of dollars per month. This is gonna be your ticket to increasing your income and increasing your production right now. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna seize the moment, or are you going to expect just your time to come? We'll find out. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Comment below on what of the 3 is your most favorite, and whether or not you practice the 3, and share this video with another person that also needs to understand how powerful these 3 habits are, so that both of you guys can enter the echelon of the top producer club within your industry. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.